魂を解き放て。ドンドンドン。破壊神降臨。シアゴジラ。ドンゴジラならやってくれる。入銀。あの怪獣は今。
スターと呼ばれた青春だった。力の限りの青春だった。時は過ぎゆく、時代は変わる。それでも僕らは生きてゆく。広い社会の片隅でつつましやかに生きてゆく。さあ送ってください、君の傑作写真を。バンダイウルトラ怪獣大変身コンテスト。
Today on Collectible Monsters, love may be in the air, but we are all about the monster heartbreak in this episode. Plus, did you know that WonderFestival happened? It did, and we're going to talk about it. Ikimashou! Why, hello, and welcome to episode 25 of Collect All Monsters, the YouTube show dedicated to the collectible side of the kaiju genre. My name is Kyle, and I'm here with my co-hosts, except for one notable exception, and you're probably going to understand why. We don't have Christine here because we just had to get Kanegon directly from Baltimore to join us on screen today, live here for episode 25. And I don't need Kanegon to bake and roast in that hood any longer. So please welcome Monster Lou back to Collect All Monsters for another wonderful episode, subbing for Christine. What's up? How you doing, girl?
Hello, everyone.
What's up, Lou?
It's nice and hot in here, so.
It's great to have you back. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. So yeah, in Baltimore again, always and forever. I don't know, it's like 60 degrees today and it's going to snow tonight. So
here too. It's really warm here. It's not going to snow, but it's really warm here. And just for the record, she's not in Baltimore. She's actually in an Isle of Mandarake in Osaka. That's really where she is. I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean,
yes.
I mean, Kyle is on Godzilla Street in Shinjuku. She is in Mandarake in Osaka. So whatever, guys. That's awesome.
I'll just bring it here.
Lou's is a bit more real than mine. But so we're going to go ahead and kick things off and go around the room and talk about ourselves a little bit. If you got anything since we've seen you that you really want to show off, Lou, I know there's a couple things, so I'm going to go ahead and get those loaded. But let me go ahead and give you the big screen.
I'm excited about this hoodie. You guys know, as being on the show before, I'm a big fashion person. So I do love this hoodie. It is hilarious. It just kind of hangs there, and it has this nice collar, and then like the little money counter that Kanegon has. And it's by a company called Kaspa, and they do a bunch of really fun stuff. They did a Metron and a bunch of other really great sweatshirts that you can zip up and become the character, and they're really fun. I also, speaking of clothes, I did grab one of these. Granoff put 2 new pieces out, and this was a kid's one originally, and then it was so popular that they did adult size, and his mouth opens up, and there is
that's so great.
Yeah, it's so cool.
There's room for your yen in there.
Yeah. So that's fun. Let's see. So it seems like everybody's on this Marasan glitter kick because that's just been blowing everybody's minds.
For sure.
Grabbed a 450.
Wow. The size of that thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 450 size. I've been wanting one of these for a while, actually, the mecha in this size. I really am still after that clear one with the silver, I guess, like robot guts or whatever. But I love that one, and it's funny that I just dropped everything and grabbed a glitter. but yeah, this figure is just really, really fun.
Spectacular.
I love the removable head. Love
Yeah.
it.
That's so
awesome.
cool.
It's
That
really-
is so cool.
Yeah,
So,
that's
so
epic.
Lou, that should be your catchphrase. Drop everything. Grab the glitter.
really great figure. They've been doing a bunch of different like colors and stuff like that. I do love the clear glitter that Marson's been doing, and I just thought with Mechagodzilla it'd be cool to have like the dark gray one.
I love it.
Pretty much everything's going to be that clear. Like this was another one, like this old 54 one.
Wow.
But yeah, this is like a really pretty color. But I have the Godzilla's like that, so why not go for a different vinyl color? What else did I want to show you guys? So I'll say on the Marasan glitter craze, and I know Kyle is excited about this one.
Ooh.
So
Oh, yeah.
That's
Miso jelly.
Oh yeah. I freaked out when I saw they were doing the 50th anniversary Gigan Lucky bags. They did 4 glitter colors. They're actually, to me, I found them to be kind of hard to see what the actual colors looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So one popped up on Yahoo, and they also sold out so fast on the Godzilla store.
I can imagine.
But yeah, so one popped up on Yahoo, and I told myself, well, I have to get all 4 because and you're like, you just see it. Like it was just it's perfect for me.
That's amazing.
So I couldn't tell if I actually did get a red one, like the person didn't really describe it, or if it was just. I don't know if anyone else has seen these, but they are, to me, it's difficult to see which colors these actually are. So
The difference is it's super subtle between the glitter, right?
it really is. But when you actually have it, I'm so glad I got the red one because, I'm not a big red fan, but with Gigan, I think it's just an awesome colorway.
So that's
It's very
red.
rose.
It
yeah.
looks purpley to me.
Yeah, it's you have
Wow.
to see it in person, really, but
It's really nice.
I'm
I
so
mean, there's a
happy
lot
with
of
it.
glitter in there.
Space
Yeah.
Nebula.
And like the red just kind of makes it like this hue of something, even though it is clear. But this color, seeing it in person, definitely made me calm down, and I don't feel like I need all 4 now. Like I'm very happy with this one. I think this one is like the most different of all of them. The coolest thing about this, I love weird stuff with figures. It came with the special effects book, which these
Awesome.
are amazing.
Yeah, those are great.
Great.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, I love these books. And this super cool backpack. You can, like,
Oh,
this
nice. Yeah. That's
backpack
great.
that's like a
Man.
tote also.
Nice. Dope.
So that's Godzilla store. That's what that says. And then the Gigan 50th.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love the
That comes
logo.
with it in 2022. So love this piece. Grab one if you can. They are amazing.
So Lou, I actually have a question about the figure. Is that a brand new sculpt for the 50th anniversary, or was that an existing sculpt that they made glitter?
I think it is existing, but I think it is.
Okay,
actually.
I thought it was
Looking
too.
at the
I wasn't
notes,
sure,
that would
though.
be-
Yeah, that's the same one that I have. That's got
Yeah.
sort of like the iridescent rainbow
Got it.
spray on the back,
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
but it looks way cooler than mine, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I was able to grab one of these bony little.
Whoa.
Oh, I lost
Yeah.
that auction.
Awesome.
Yeah, this was the Enraku 54 sad without a skin.
This Monster Heartbreaker episode is kicking me already. I'm loving it.
My heart's already broken from that, because just chalk that up to another lost auction or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them pop up on auction sites and stuff. So they're out there if you want. The interesting thing about this one, besides that it's the only like full bone figure, I don't know of any other ones. Is there anything else? like that?
The
I don't
full
know.
bones. I mean, there's other little statues you can get of the
Yeah,
bones and model kits, but in
Yeah.
terms of Sophobie, I think that's the only one I'm aware of.
That's the one I've never seen.
Yeah, so people that have been buying buying the Enrakus, this one's slightly different. It does have like the head here changes. So it's got the neck turn, which like most of them do, and then this one also turns here, if you can see that. So
Has a little tilt on it. I love the little tilt on there. That's so cool.
So he's weird
Nice.
and neat. So everybody loves that one. Good
It's
one.
very unique. Very unique.
It's I believe somebody in our group said it's a sculpt that's begging for more colorways, and I completely agree.
Yeah,
Like a monochromatic gray would be really cool, like the original.
Yeah,
that would be nice. I don't know if you guys have this problem or if anybody else does, but and it sounds kind of silly, but getting one thing from Mandarake is just like, well, let me see, check the other store if there's any little small thing I can add in.
Right.
That's not a problem. That's a feature. That's something I do all the time. I'm like, how can I maximize my shipping costs?
I just want to find one little thing, whatever it could be. But anyway, usually mine's a book. So I grabbed the Pico Pico, which we'll be talking about later in the show. Kaiju Encyclopedia. So this is all Pico Picos.
Awesome.
Weird, evil, and fun,
Look at the photos.
crazy monsters that he's made.
Great photographs too. I love this.
Yeah, really great photographs. The funny thing about showing this book and being on the show again was the first time I think I was on the show, I showed you guys that book, The Back.
Yes.
Talk about being in the suits and like the design of the suits, and that every suit has a zipper, and literally the back of Pico Pico's book has just the
incredible.
Oh, what a great coincidence! Yeah.
Like really funny that other people really appreciate the zipper and the monster suits.
You've come full circle.
Yeah. So I do have one more thing I'm really excited about. This was from the Vinyl Conflict auction that was in 2019. That was really fun. I don't know if any of you guys got to watch that. I had a blast watching that. I was able to win the 1967 French giant poster, Invasion of Astro Monsters.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
Fantastic. Wow.
Oh geez, that's
so that
cool.
yeah, you can show it.
There you go.
This is it. So it's 4 foot by 5 foot.
Wow.
Wow.
It's got a few tears there you can see on the left, and the pretty heavy fold lines, a couple weird little marks, but overall, like the color is beautiful, really held up, and I got it for a really great price in that auction. It's just
fantastic.
Really looking at it. I love this film. I love so much about this movie. So anyway, I finally had it restored. It took like 2 months, and I just got it back last weekend. So there's an after picture, and so that.
Oh wow!
I had it.
Fantastic job.
Yeah, I had it mounted to canvas, so now it's like this really thick, nice, sturdy tube thing, and I'm just gonna get brackets to hang it because there's no framing that.
It's a big frame.
Completely restored it and mounted it to canvas. So it's huge.
What a great idea! What a fantastic idea for a big poster.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say those little imperfections kind of make it unique, but now seeing it restored, it's like forget that.
Yeah,
it's fantastic restored.
I mean, I really go back and forth about like restoring stuff like that, but when you look at the after or the before and see it now, like I'm really happy with it. It's gonna be really fun in my like stairwell because
where else is it gonna go? Yeah. Fantastic.
So,
look at that.
Very nice.
Yeah, awesome. Very smooth now. So those are my fun things.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you, Leslie? Did you get any new fun guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Welcome back to another edition of Collect All Monsters. February 2022. Black History Month. So let me just give a huge shout out first and foremost to all the African American collectors out there, Kaiju fans. Yes, Black History Month. Yes. And just to let you know, coming next week on this channel of Collect All Monsters, last year on my channel, I got together with a few other African American Kaiju fans, collectors, YouTubers, of course, our very own John Ruffin. But we're doing it again, but we're doing it right here on Collect All Monsters with myself, John Ruffin, Gospel of the Train 1090 from Monsters with Attitude, Diego Doom, and a few other African American and YouTubers going to get together on this channel and talk about more of our love of the films, of the collectibles, and all the good stuff in honor of Black History Month. So I think it's going down, I want to say 3 o'clock Eastern time next Saturday on the 19th. So we'll hope to see you there. And if you saw last year's, it was fun. It was controversial thanks to what I chose on a couple topics, but look for the same type of fun controversy, at least fun, come next week. I did get a few things for myself. I'm gonna breeze through them right fast. And first and foremost, I got me some swag, and John Ruffin, I know you're feeling me on this.
You got the shirt. That's dope. That is all that. Oh,
the Cavity Colors Mecha Godzilla shirt. Yeah, similar to what what you saw with Sandra last month. And of course, on the side, you got the missiles, going down.
Those little touches are just so.
Yeah, the missiles that's coming to pierce Godzilla that basically made our childhoods all messed up. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Were y'all messed up that moment when Mecha Godzilla pierced those missiles into Godzilla and he was screaming and blood was gushing everywhere? God, man. A lot of things broke my heart back in the day. Optimus Prime dying and seeing that right there. You know what I'm saying? But this is a great shirt. So go to cavitycolors.com and get you some of these shirts. I think the Biollante collection just dropped a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to get that for Sandra. But yes, this shirt is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Got a couple books that my great friend and fellow co-host on Collect All Monsters, David, got me. I don't have them with me, but I'm just going to tell you what I got. The 92 Godzilla Toho Special Effects book, Kaijucast, Monster X, and Kumonga or Spiga. What do y'all say? What do y'all call him? Spiga?
I say Kumonga. Kumonga is like the original Japanese name for it.
Yeah. So great books. And again, thank you, David. We do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
By the way, I'm not done with you yet, so hold on for a second. I just got this a couple of days ago. Everybody's been talking about this, and but I had to get it. Up from the depths.
Nice.
I'm not going to sing the whole song because everybody and their mama's been doing that for the past 2 weeks, so I'm not going to do that here. But yes, the Mondo Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. This thing is so cool. It's been getting some, what's the word? It's been getting some little bit of heat, I guess because of the line right here, but I don't have the mind of a 4-year-old, so I'm not going there. I think it looks great.
Well said.
The price point, it might be a little bit high, $120, but then again, I spent more on it on Defo Reel, so it doesn't really bother me this thing.
Yeah, $120 for like one of the only pieces of merchandise with that Godzilla on it.
Yeah,
right.
And it's really cool and it's really detailed. The colors popping. I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger. But still, if you want a highly detailed version of that Godzilla, you can't go wrong with this. And originally, I think I saw it on Mondo's website that it was supposed to drop in the summer of 2022. But then I saw on Facebook that people were like, hey, I just got the email of shipper confirmation, and I didn't pre-order one yet because I thought they were all sold out, right? But when I saw people getting their shipping confirmations, I was like, let me go on Mondo, see if they have any more, and I was able to get one. I think they're still up there for $120. But again, if you buy Defo Reels, if you buy X Plus figures, $120. Come on, I mean, we buy Godzilla stuff. It's not cheap. So just but this is a cool thing. And last and certainly but not least, of course, I did a live stream video on our Collect All Monsters Collectors Facebook group, where again, my great friend and co-host. First of all, let me just say I love David Dopko. He is like God to me. His hands are just like they should be considered. National treasures because I got my hands on the KOC 40cm resin model kit of a guy turning 60 this year. The King Goji, the 1962 Godzilla from King Kong versus Godzilla. Let me show you the head first, because it comes with 2 heads that you can interchange at will, magnetize. This is the head, the first closed mouth head.
Oh, wow.
Look at the detail. Look at that. Look at that.
That's sweet. Wow.
And without further ado, let me just bear with me because this thing is heavy as crap. Good God Almighty. Come on, baby.
He's not lying. That thing is heavy.
Oh, God. Here he is. Woo! Look at that.
Yeah.
The 40cm resin model kit of the 1962 Godzilla. As a matter of fact, Kyle, I sent you a couple pictures. You mind showing that so I ain't got to hold this fat guy?
Yeah,
Look at that.
Wow. Yeah,
Look at that. Now, I'm not a
perfect.
I'm not a kaiju toy photographer. I don't have the Jedi Master skills of David Dopko or John Ruffin or anybody like that. But I have to say, I think this came out pretty good.
That's a great shot.
Absolutely.
Really a good shot.
You got all the details.
Awesome shot. That is what perfection looked like, ladies and gentlemen. That is what happens when you have David Dopko on the case. You get a good, awesome, perfect representation of the 1962. Dare I say, the quintessential King Goji. Yes. And you know what, Kyle? You can't go to the other shot, please.
You got it.
And this shot right here, and again, I'll ask this before we move on, and I've asked this question on Facebook, but I still want to get your sentiment on this. Now, of course, this is not what happened in the following film, Mothra vs. Godzilla, but on the original poster, we do see the King Goji up against Mothra. And this kid was painted so awesome. He looks very, very, very sinister. And I know the King Goji has somewhat of a playful look, but this right here, makes me wonder what would have happened if we did get the 62 in Mothra vs. Godzilla. So I wanted to ask y'all, do you think the 62 would have worked?
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
I don't see why not.
Sure.
I mean,
I think the only thing that I would say wouldn't have worked as well is that the 62 doesn't look as menacing as the 64, and I think that really helps the story of the movie that Godzilla looks so angry,
Evil.
so look upset.
Good point.
and also the it was very cumbersome for Nakajima to emote and move in the 62 suit because it's so bulky, as we can see right there. And the 64 suit was slimmed down just for that reason, and it fit more to his body, so he could do a lot more. Like the things that he does in that fight, he probably couldn't do necessarily with the 62 suit because it does have its constraints, And but yeah, I think it would work. I would not be mad at that as long as we got to see the 64 at some point down the line. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to substitute it.
But the way you painted this model kit, you painted him a more of a darker color in a way that's kind of have shades of the 64, because the 64 suit was a darker color suit. And I just think that the way that you painted this and seeing this shot of Godzilla menacingly hovering over Mothra, I think it would have worked. And again, that just shows how awesome David painted this kit, that it made me think about that. Because if you asked me before I got this kit, would the 62 have worked? I would have told you no. But now looking at this, I think it would have. As long as Godzilla is not doing no happy dances with his claws or anything, if Nakajima is able to emote the same sinister emotion with this suit as it did with the 64, especially with the paint job that David did on this, I think it would have worked, quite frankly.
Leslie, it's funny that you said it's dark. I painted it darker. It's actually much lighter than I painted the 64. If you put them both together, the 64 is much darker, and I didn't want to go too light. So I was really, I made a point to make sure it was lighter than the 64, which is a darker suit.
Right.
But it's also the lighting too. If you put it in bright light, it's a little tiny bit lighter, but yeah, it's definitely a lighter. That's a really hard color to get right, because in that movie, as we all know, we've seen it 1,000 times. There's so many different scenes in the movie: night versus day. Dirty versus clean, frozen, because if you watch the first scene when he comes out of the iceberg, the white goes all the way up almost to the knuckle.
Right.
And then that changes later on when he's on top of Mount Fuji. Yeah, I've watched it way too many times. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, there's so when you're doing a model kit, you really have to choose what day scene, night scene. That's especially important with King Kong, because King Kong's fur looks completely different in that face, whether it's day or night. I mean, Kyle was the first person that I knew who painted his Bill King Kong sort of the night version, because it has a much darker face, and I actually really prefer that over the lighter shade from the day scenes, on at the very end and on that last battle. But anyway, thank you. Thank you so much.
But of course, you see Mothra here, and of course that's not how the figure is supposed to look like. But I kind of took that from Richard Eso, where you have Mothra draped over the egg, which is kind of what happened. And to have Godzilla, like I said, menacing, hovering above her, this is like I said, I'm going to be using moving forward. And again, that's a testament to how awesome David painted this kit. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, David.
So appreciate those kind words. Thank you.
If you have not seen the last of David painting the kit for me, he's got one more that he's doing for me. And you'll see that real soon. But again, thank you so much. So without further ado, I'm gonna kick it over to my.
Hang on, Leslie. Just before we move off from this topic, there's a lot of love in the chat for David and his skills.
Thanks everybody.
Which is also lovely. But Greg Coggin mentioned that he definitely would not want to see the 62 in Mothra versus Godzilla if it meant a lifetime without the 64 suit.
I agree, Greg. Absolutely. And I know Leslie agrees with that too.
I agree, but I also think that the 62 should have gotten at least one more film appearance.
I agree with that.
Most definitely.
I mean, I ain't talking about him being a water suit in Mothra vs. Godzilla. I'm talking about like a full-fledged appearance. He deserved one more. But
4.5.
Well, we sort of got that Godzilla versus the Wolfman.
Sort of.
I mean, in a way, but no, we needed another full-fledged Toho epic movie. I agree.
Yeah. But thank you again. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. I'm so glad you're stoked, and I'm so glad I got there in one piece. So
no problem. So
is it my turn?
It's your turn.
It's your turn, man.
All right. So I'm not sure what I showed you guys last. Did I show you the Sarujirushi 64? Did I show that last time, or was that like in a different?
You showed me that. I think.
I don't think I did it on Collect All Monsters, but
yeah,
if I
you may have done it in a live video.
I might have. First live video I actually did was yesterday, so it was,
oh really?
It might have been I did a video and posted it later on, but anyway, I got this guy. This is a 1964 Sarujirushi, really cool variant with the green and the metallic blue. This is actually the same sculpt as the clear guts one that Kyle and I have, and this sort of just came out of nowhere. Of course, when it rains, it pours. This came at the same time. The Knots Matango, which I don't think I showed you either, and I'm going to show you that right now real quick. See, I got more than one thing today, everybody.
You had multiple box days?
I had multiple box days. I know, I just dropped that. Here's the one that I was talking about that Kyle and I have. This is the same sculpt as the one I just showed you, but of course it's got the clear vinyl where you can see the interior of his goings on or whatever. So this one, I posted something about it in our group, but this one is absolutely phenomenal. This is the Knots, the original. I think this is the very first variant of this particular figure, Matango transforming. Well, actually, he's not transforming. He's already a complete mushroom at this point. But love this figure. It's beautiful. It's kind of accurate, yet still sort of stylized. I love when accuracy and stylization sort of it blurs that line between. That's why I get really excited when I see figures like that. But yeah, this is another not super inexpensive, but worth every penny. And it came out. It arrived like a day before the Sarujirushi. So I was kind of on the down low with my buying stuff until I got an email from Charles Murdich. You guys all know Charles and Alex. I got an email like it was early afternoon. He's like, David, are you there? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And he's like, go over to Showcase.KAIJU on Sean Lincolnback's web store. There's a figure that I know I've heard you talk about that you've wanted. And I'm like, okay. So I went over there, and sure enough, this guy was on the page, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I have to get him. After a little bit of hullabaloo, trying to order this sort of a la Mondo, and I'm like, no, please don't be Gigon Gate. No. It's just, long story short, I had this in my cart, and then all of a sudden everything kind of went away. And I'm like, oh no, is somebody trying to buy this at the exact same time or whatever? And I panicked and I emailed Sean. I'm like, Sean, what's going on? And then actually I just calmed down and just did it a second time, and it went through perfectly. So really, really great price. Thank you for that, Sean. And interesting story that I said in my live video, which is my very first live video I did yesterday. Thanks everybody who watched. I think this might be the one that I actually had. I think I sold it to Sean many moons ago, and it found its way back home. So I was like, welcome home, buddy. you know, but I'm pretty sure because there's one little like, you know, imperfection that I think I remember from my figure. But
it's not your name on the foot. Come on.
No names on the foot. I don't know. We don't do that. No, we don't do that. So I definitely have to consult with Mr. Lincoln back at some point to confirm my suspicions. But definitely glad to have him in my collection one way or the other. And Kyle, I know you scolded me already. This is my only Sofubi representation of Gigan.
What?
Can you believe that? I know. I've got other things. I've got some, you know, I've got some X pluses, and you know, I've got the Bandai, but I only have one Sofubi representation, and this is it. So it was definitely needed. Definitely, you know, serendipitous, because this is, you know, of course, the anniversary of the film, and I love all things Pilot Ace. Now, Lou, this made me not sad that I didn't get the glittery one, because if I were to, I love the glitter, but this one, I gotta say, Pilot Ace, the size, the sculpt, and just the I just love Pilot Ace stuff so much.
Oh yeah,
and I just couldn't pass up on it. So, Uncle Dave is going to be like laying low with his buying for a while. As Kyle says, byatus. I'm
make it lay low for a while.
What's that?
Pilot Ace makes you lay low for a while.
Pilot Ace, Knots, and Silver George all in the same month.
Yeah.
Within you know, about a week of each other.
Yep.
It's enough to
big spender.
Yeah, make it rain. But no, definitely very, very happy to have this in my collection. And that's
I love that.
I think I might have forgotten something, but so what? No big deal. That's all I got. Let's go. Everybody get comfortable. Pull up a chair. Get a cup of coffee. You know, it's time for John Ruffin. And go. Just kidding, buddy. You know I love you to the moon and back.
I don't have that much this month.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really don't. It's great to be with you all, and welcome, Lou. It's great to have you back with us on the show.
And, I forgot to say that. Welcome back, Lou.
Hey. and you know, we're thinking about you, Christine. You know,
yes.
In our thoughts and prayers, and it's just great to be back with you all. It was a great day here in Philly. You know, the weather for a couple of days is a nice break. I went to the House of Fun earlier today just to get out the house, but I didn't buy anything. I left something there. I hope it doesn't get taken. I might run back and get it. I won't even mention what it is. Let's see. All is well, surviving. I do have a few things. You know, it was fun to get that might. You know, I always get books, so that's kind of where I'm going.
Really?
I've got it. You know, I love the figures, but I don't know. You know, I focus on the print material. This is Takara, that's his book. Akira Takarada-san.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Japan Godzilla. Yeah, I found this on Baiyi, but I'm going to work on just translating some pages of it. So that's a cool book. I picked up, and I don't know if I showed this last time, the DVD. Yuji Sakai, the live, sculpting
from Godzilla Fest, right?
Yeah, from Godzilla Fest. I just picked up a few small books to fill in the gaps. Small,
those are so
Godzilla
fun.
secret books. So, yes, picked up. This is a classic that I can't believe I didn't have in my collection. Is the Toho Actress.
Oh, I want that. That's a must-have.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is a good thing to have. This is a good book to have. And I was like, if I don't get this, I'm going to miss it and spend a lot more money. So it has interviews.
Oh my God,
wonderful photos.
Oh.
It's a good buy.
John, maybe those Toho special effects books that Leslie loves so much, and that Lou showed with the Gigan, maybe they'll do something similar to that with actresses and humans.
Right.
Wouldn't that be a cool thing to change from the monsters to see like the human characters? I think that would be really. If you're listening, Godzilla store or whatever makes them do it.
They did one with Doctor Who. They did one with him and.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Yes, they
and
did. Yep.
They did a Doctor.
I have a AG Super Island
Yeah,
too.
the Super Island.
So then we can hope that a Toho actress one,
Yeah.
and
probably
Takarada too.
definitely not as
So
cool
you're
as,
saying
as
there's a
the one you
chance.
have, but there's a chance.
There's a lull in those releases. I don't know if
There has been, yeah.
They'll kick it back up again because there's a lot they could do. They could focus on each movie as well. Just this is interesting. In February of 2018, the famous Nichigeki Theater closed in down the street from the Wacko building. The famous Toho. Well, they closed the theater.
Yes.
And so they had some nice commemorative stuff. So I've
okay.
just some commemorative items. So I got the theater book that kind of just gives the history, and looks back. And they had like a 9-day, I think it was 9-day, like festival showing Godzilla movies. I mean, it was amazing. I wish I was there. But a part of that commemorative items, they would add some figures. But this is can't really see it. Film from Godzilla 1984.
Oh, cool.
Which was a nice little
A little film cell.
Film
right?
cell. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Very
Carl,
cool.
I think you have this. So this is the.
I do, or I have something similar. Actually, the one I have is sort of a mix between the one you have and a. It's like doesn't have the words that you're showing to the screen right there, but it's got the silhouettes.
The silhouettes. Yeah. So this is Sayonara Nichigeki's last show. It was like their last year. So it was like
I love those
9 days.
teacups.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so cool.
They are really nice weight to it. And I know a lot of us got the Yuji Sakai.
Yes, sir.
Great fit, beautifully done. I love this. Can't wait.
It's like going to church. I tell you.
Yes. Now this is the last like going to. Now this, no Godzilla book collection or print collection can go without this, and I was embarrassed not to have it in my collection. And I finally took it out of the library and I'm going to keep it. Never let it go, because it's literally from the library. The old classic.
Yes.
Yes. And this is a really good copy too. I was like,
oh my god, that's not the one I had.
It still has the library card in the back, so you don't know.
Oh,
Nice.
see, having one with a library card in it is half the battle, man. That's nostalgia right there.
You took it out for the last time.
Wow.
So that was a must.
Oh man,
And
I got that from my library, and I took it out illegally. And the statutes of limitations have run out, so don't come after me, ladies and gentlemen.
Ditto. Me too. I think the library police are going to have to scour the country because a lot of us have that book or had that book.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I know it. And I don't take. I'm not the type of person that would steal anything, but damn, I took that book.
Well, yeah.
I took it. And what I should have done now is I should have returned it if I can find it. It's probably in my mom's house somewhere. It's falling apart. I should have made notes and corrected all the mistakes they made because it is so not accurate. And I think one of the culprits to one of the main misconceptions of Godzilla back in the day was Godzilla is green. He is not green. Never been green. Only in that Hanna-Barbera. He's green. And I think he's green. And for the record, that line, that's just an animation line. That's supposed to be there. That's the way they're doing it, like it's an animation piece. So people just chill, whatever. Come on now, come on. But
people are bored nowadays. I think.
Evidently. But anyway, that's so cool, John. That's the best for last. Now I got to find one.
Sitting here, you gave me an idea. Right up the street is my childhood library. And I haven't been in there in like 30, 40 years.
Maybe it's in there.
I'm going to look for it. It
might be in there. It might be in there.
It may just be in there.
It's made by Crescent Books, right? That's
Crestwood Books.
Crestwood
House. Yeah,
Crestwood House. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I would love to get the others, but I'm just content with the Godzilla.
I've never seen the others. Have you guys seen the other ones? Like my library only had the Godzilla one.
We had a King Kong one. They had
Did you
a
have
Wolfman
King Kong
one.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, the Wolfman. Yeah.
Like I want the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I want the Deadly Mantis. I want Tarantula. I want all those.
I had a Kong book, and it pissed me off because King Kong Escapes only had one page in there. I'm like, really? The greatest King Kong film? You're gonna do just one page?
So you So, Kyle, what treats do you have to show us?
Great question, John. Great question. Because really, I'm on a hiatus right now, and so I did get the Super 7 pint glasses, right? So they did sort of reissue those, and so I was able to secure my set. So they're in the garage, boxed up like everything else. Actually, hang on. There is something that I could show you guys, but let me just take a sip first.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really great. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's some good tea. Now, I'll reactivate it, but I did make a world's greatest monster collector coffee cup for people.
I love that.
Make a wonderful gift.
Yeah, exactly. Available after the episode in our TeePublic shop, which there is a link to in the show notes, the description of this. And in addition to that, there will be a link to something that I'm doing. So I've got a couple things to share. Tomorrow night, actually, tomorrow afternoon for me, there is actually a YouTuber named Kim, and she has a show called Chill with Kaiju Kim.
Oh,
and so I'm going to be on Chill with Kaiju Kim tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll have a link in the notes here.
Nice.
And if that's not enough, I also did something with Lady Kyle, and we are going to stream that on Wednesday, February 16th at 4 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern.
Wow.
And basically it's sort of like a breakdown of packing up the 25 plus year Kaiju collection.
Wow.
And so
Makes me kind of sad.
it is a little sad, but at the same time, it was really interesting to talk about and sort of decompress from the whole experience, really, because it is all packed up now.
Wow.
And that's really it. That's all I got to share. If you want to tune into either of those, check the links in the show notes, because that's the best way to get to there. And because we're already 42 minutes into the show, Leslie, you want to help me out with the chat room check-in?
Yes,
say hello
sir.
to some of we got 58 people watching live right now on YouTube only. Actually, I forgot to post this to Facebook. So yeah, thank you all for watching live. You guys are rad, and we're going to say hello to you right now. Hit it, Leslie.
What's going on, Helmy, Tim Alton, Liam Foley, always here as always. Thank you so much. Godzilla Man 2000, Jonathan Portman.
Yay.
Hey, dude. What's up, man? Michael Hang, Godzilla Train 1090, once again, always here. And you'll see him again on following this show on their channel on Monster with Attitude. Michael Hamilton, what's up, Kaiju Ramen? Greg Fountain, Kaiju
doing
Me.
a terrible job of this. That's Tanner Steffen.
Okay, that's Tanner.
Yeah.
The fanciest of cats. Okay, I'm not hating. Larry Latham, Tybug One, Hunter Meguro Goji, love that name. Luminous, what's going on? Kaiju Battle, Eric Stope, what's up? Let's see who else. Chris Howlett,
What's up, Chris?
Greg Coggin,
Greg.
Craft Crazy Keith, what's up, Keith?
Hey.
All right, Hilsey, FQIGOKMQ. Okay, thank you.
Right, him.
Right, him. Chris Reed, Des Reffin, and just, yeah, that's all I see so far. Chris Lewis, James Davis Films.
We got a lot of people watching live. It's awesome. Thank you guys all for being here.
I'm laughing because James Davis Films said in response to the book comment that I made, he said, my girlfriend works for a library and she says, return your books.
There you go.
Handcuffs, take me
There
away.
you go.
Guilty.
Brutezilla, Matthew Brazell, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Oh, what? Dude, Shannon, what is up? How's it going? And I definitely got to talk to you about what has been going on with me. And thank you for being here. Wow. All right, so many people. This is rad. We are going to go ahead and because this last weekend was WonderFestival, we have foregone our normal news, and we are doing an all WonderFestival news segment. Oh wait, that's not the video. The video is cool. I mean, cool is relative, right? Anyway, so hey, we're going to talk about WonderFestival. I wanted to very quickly do a recap of what WonderFestival is. We talked about this more than annual show on episode 2 of Collect All Monsters.
Wow.
So I'm actually just going to recap that without the attempt at being comical, really, but a little bit. So Dateline, Showa 59. Or 1984, the very same month that Godzilla returns to the big screen in Return of Godzilla, Japanese anime and tokusatsu model kit enthusiasts initiated the very first WonderFestival in Osaka, Japan. Now, in the early days, the festival was almost exclusively made up from amateur garage kit makers whose skills became so honed that their kits rivaled products that were made by companies like Aoshima, Ari, Bandai, and Kyoto. And in fact, it was the latter company. I said Kyoto, I meant Kyoto. It was the latter company, Kyoto, that recognized this passion behind this event and lent a really big hand into the evolution of WonderFestival. Now, due to the show's popularity, Kyoto worked with the Japanese government to create a day of copyrights called Tojitsu Honkin.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows kit makers like Yuji Sakai, Ryu Oyama, Kenichi Tanaka, and a cajillion more to obtain the copyright for licenses for one day at one venue. And according to an article in the Japanese Times, 1, the copyrights are issued through the event. 2, they cannot take reservations during the event and ship them later. 3, they cannot sell models that haven't been approved for copyrights at all. And 4, the copyright ends when the event ends.
Wow.
That's why WonderFestival exclusives are so stupid expensive. The show is held twice a year in Japan, and they've actually started expanding that. So there's been like I think a Beijing show. Please don't quote me on that, but definitely a show in China. And there, I'm pretty sure, are more expansions on the way in the future. Anyway, I know that we all love WonderFestival and we love talking about WonderFestival, and we are each going to highlight some of our favorite things from WonderFestival, and by doing so, show them off to you in a very cute manner, starting with Lou.
Well, some of my favorites. Okay, first of all, during WonderFest, I will admit, I was super busy last week, and normally it's so exciting even if you can't be there, because you get a lot of like Instagram activity, Twitter, everything. You can see what's going on. You see what your favorite designers are putting out. It's exciting because it's just new stuff. I've yet to actually be at a WonderFest. I've never gone, but it will happen one day.
Yes, it will happen.
Yeah. So I was kind of lacking in seeing what was going on, but quickly looking at social media and seeing like a Sun Guts or something, you're like, oh my god, what is that? I'll look at it later. So I was just so busy, I couldn't actually get into it. So this past week I did get into it, and I was just blown away by a lot of designer stuff. So I picked a few to talk about, and I guess we'll start with the Max Toy, and I guess you could say Max Toy X Pico Pico. Yeah, so I really love these. This is Pico Pico's. The 3 in the middle are like his characters. That's kind of like what this book has, a lot of his guys in there. And yeah, I'll actually go back one more. So that those fish guys, that's actually a Yamomark design.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It looks familiar.
Yeah. So those are like his new like finger puppet guys. So this is actually the Mucho figure, and then he just did finger puppets of his characters. So that I really enjoyed those. So you can go ahead to what we really want to see. Yeah,
Oh,
so
phenomenal. These are fabulous.
Wow.
yeah, these are really, really nice.
Damn.
Great selection, I think, of Godzilla
Definitely.
foods. Like really, really perfect. I think these are what, like, I don't know if anybody knows, like 4 inches tall.
Well, they're the same size as the other
Max
toy figures. So yeah, I would say 4 inches
Yeah.
is probably what they are exactly. But
Yeah.
they look a little like his sculpting style makes them look a little stubby, a little tiny bit chibi. But yeah, totally.
That's a great point. Yeah, they do look chibi, but they still have that really strong stylized Sofubi, excellent look. I love that GMK a lot. I really like them all. I mean, it's a great set if you could go through them all. But yeah, the 62 is great. 64, I think, comes with the
Wow.
large. Yeah,
Oh, nice. That's the one I want. I want the
love it.
65. That's my
Wow,
favorite.
nice.
it's kind of like the one you're like, oh, well, they all match, so we should just get them all. But
That's right. You got to collect them all.
collect
You do. You do.
Well, okay, so
Oh.
the Hedora, which everyone's going nuts over, that
Yeah.
similar to Pico Pico's finger puppets. That's the animated version, which
That's
it's
great.
cool to
That's
see
so
another
cool.
spin on that because
Yeah.
did the animated version, and I guess those are the only 2 really. So I love a new spin on that. And I think that was it.
I love that Smuggy. That's so
Yeah.
cool. It really looks like that scene too, like that
Yeah.
little
The
animated
animated
clip on there.
So yeah, the Hedora is great. I think next I have Caractix. Was that right? Yeah.
Man,
So-
happy Canagon.
Yeah, it's
So happy.
kind of like everybody's really excited about this company because they were around for the early 2000s and then maybe lost the license. I think he explains it on his Instagram. So now it's like Caractix is back, like your favorite fast food or something. It's just like, yes, here we go again. So these pieces are just so nice.
Wow, it's big. It's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, the Canigon cocoon.
This company like exudes whimsy from their stuff. Like I'm so glad they're back.
That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it.
Really, really wonderful stylized stuff. But yeah,
I love the tanks. Oh
yeah,
man,
it's like silver and looks like a glitter. But I didn't know if anyone in the chat knows, but that's like a little Baragon. I think they come together. But I don't know if you can swap them out. It looks like
I think you can, and I think what he's doing is he's including his own his own kaiju. So he did like a Baragon.
Yeah.
And there's another one that has a very Gomez-like chest to it. Yeah.
Yeah, his ears are different. But yeah, like I have a Minya tank, and I've never tried pulling it out, but yeah, those are just really like rare and fun to find out in the wild if you can. So now there's like a slew of new stuff coming from them, and it's just
look at that. That's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever saw that one. This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then the Hedora in the rocking chair, and that's
so cute.
Demo paint. There's an army of them rocking away, relaxing. So Sunguts blew my mind when I first discovered Sungatsu years ago. And I just went crazy buying them. Got to meet him at 5 Points.
Nice.
He's a sleepy guy. Sometimes you'll catch him at 5 Points, just kind of asleep because he just does that. you know, if you've been there, you've seen him. But anyway, I love Sunguts. So looking at this new Sunguts Wonderfest stuff, I got completely obsessed with him again. And I just love the Godzilla Gamera stuff he's been putting out. This, like Kyle was mentioning earlier, this was a 1-day license for him to do the Godzilla and Gamera stuff. So, yeah. So there's the 62.
Oh, I like the 62.
Very cool. Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. I went really nuts over what's the next slide there? Yeah, like I love this shin. It's very meaty looking, which isn't my favorite, but his like stressed out, I don't know why I'm here look is like really great with that like meat color, but I think that's a good one. I have that one in, the glitter. They put out glitter one a few years ago. This is the one that made me go crazy searching for it.
Wow.
Yeah, I love this one. It's like a blue marble. It glows in the dark, and the mouth actually in the ones that were for sale, I'm not sure if they released ones without a pink mouth, but there is a very slight like airbrush pink in the mouth on the ones that they sold. I didn't see any in the like screenshot zooming in as much as I could on all of these pictures that were out. I didn't.
Oh, there you can see it. You can see the pink there.
So it looks like they did in pink, which makes it so much prettier. Love this figure, and
wow.
I love this work this time. I'm not a big marbled fan. I don't think I have anything marbled, but I love this. I've already found the Gamera coming up and the blue, so they're on their way. But this one just told me. I don't know why. I'm just crazy about it. I think they did such a good job.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really these are great too, but for some reason I'm just sold on the marble. I really love those.
Me too. I don't have anything marbled either.
Yeah. It's a beautiful treatment, that marbling.
I never cared for it, but I just
Actually, this was the one thing from WonderFestival that I was like, oh man, I need to get this. Roxy, stop.
Roxy agrees. Roxy absolutely agrees.
We're live, Roxy, and you're now whining on live. Anyway, yeah, I love Sun Guts so much. Their stuff is great, and their cameras are way bigger than almost anything else I have from them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that meat-colored Shin Godzilla, Lou, I have a great photograph idea. Put that in a butcher shop, like behind the counter. Like, he's like, what am I doing in the counter? Wouldn't that be hysterical? You just got to ask the butcher, I guess. But I think that would make for a really fun, whimsical photograph, don't you?
Yeah.
Really
good. Nuts.
We just looked impressed.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that last picture is a more Sun Guts style. These are some girls that I guess they cosplay as these Cyclops. I like to think they're real. I like to think that they just are Cyclops fashion ladies. There's a whole gang of them over in Japan. So Sun Guts likes to make figures of them, and he's done a couple like ones like that. Really fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I love them.
I love the white go-go boots.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, they have like an Instagram account, and they do a lot of collaborations together, and it's just really fun to see different stuff like that. So those were my favorite picks for WonderFest. Those are the ones that just really popped out to me. I really enjoyed those. So
excellent choices.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Those Mark Nagatas. Man, those are the ones that, like Kyle said, like he's focusing on that Trauma Gamera. I really like that 65 because those faces, even though it's a chibi figure, those faces could be on like a full-size figure. Like he really nailed the faces, or like just like the X Plus does with their D4 Real line. Really fun stuff, and hopefully they'll be
different too,
floating around, so some of us can grab one or two of them. So
the problem with those Max Toy or Pico Pico pieces, especially the Godzilla ones, is that because they are only for WonderFestival, you're never going to see them released outside of WonderFestival. So it's just a classic tale. Anyway, thank you very much, Lou.
Yeah.
We're going to move along with our good friend Leslie Chambers, who's going to talk to us about his picks from WonderFestival.
Yes, X Plus had a great showing, a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of hard to pick three, quite frankly.
Right.
But the three that I want to talk about that jumped out at me the most, that I'm definitely getting at least two of them. But we'll talk about that later on. First and foremost, they finally announced they're doing a 25 centimeter Monsterverse King Ghidorah 2019.
Wow.
And a lot of people have been asking for King Ghidorah. We kind of knew it was coming. But because, we got a 25 centimeter Godzilla 2019, we got a 25 centimeter Rodan 2019. And quite frankly, I was kind of surprised. I thought Mothra would come sooner than King Ghidorah, you know, because I know S Plus has not have had the best history when it comes to upright King Ghidorahs with the big wings, you know. Death Ghidorah, Kaiser, the GMK Ghidorah, you know, those releases kind of came off without a hitch, so to speak. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that those three King Ghidorahs in particular, Death, Kaiser, and GMK, they were from established model kits. But the original versions of like the 68 King Ghidorah, we already know about the bad history with the first edition of that figure, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And don't get me started about Mecha King Ghidorah. That thing has been in limbo. That some people are doubting whether or not it's going to come out. I still think it is, but again, I think a lot of time needs to be taken to make sure that these figures are well put together. Because I'd rather a figure take 5 years to go through production to make sure it's right versus sending something out real soon and rushing it, and then it ends up breaking in our hands in 6 months. So I don't mind the wait as long as they give us a quality product. Now, what we saw on the poster, again, it's just a tease. We don't know if that's exactly what we're going to be getting. Quite frankly, it does look good, you know. But just imagine how that thing will look up against, you know, Godzilla. Honestly, when I get the figure, because I am getting it, even though I have the Spiral Gigantic King Ghidorah, I'm actually going to make a setup that really didn't happen in the movies, but I wish it did. Because, you know, this year we get the 25 centimeter Godzilla 2021 as well as Kong 2021, and I'm going to put them together with this King Ghidorah to kind of recreate the setup that I wish we could have gotten. I would have loved to have seen Godzilla and Kong not fight Mecha Godzilla. I would love to see them team up to fight King Ghidorah. So that's what I'm going to be doing when I finally get this figure. But again, it's an announcement. We don't know when it's coming out. It's going to be in the 25 centimeter scale, because I've seen some folks question that they're not doing a gigantic size King Ghidorah because somebody beat him to it. But this was a great announcement, and I'm looking forward to getting it. And the second thing I want to talk about is they announced in honor of Gigan. Yes, Godzilla vs. Gigan celebrates 50 years this year. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think our next show will be on that day. We'll be on March 12th when that's the day that Godzilla vs. Gigan celebrates his 50th anniversary on that day. So, nice. In honor of that, S Plus is bringing out a 25 centimeter double figure set of both the 1972 Gigan and the 1972 Godzilla. Allegedly. And this one, I'm going to be really critical just a little bit. I'm not going to go overboard with it, but when this set popped up on social media, a lot of folks were happy. Like, finally, we're getting the 72, because we got a 71 and a 68 from S Plus, right? And personally, out of all the incarnations of the Shoshingeki Godzilla suit, the 72 is my favorite, even though I know the suit is raggedy and it's falling apart, but it's something about the 72 that I love more so than 69, 71, and 68. So when they finally announced this, and when they showed this, I was like, wow, this is great. And then when you further inspect the figure, these are not brand new sculpts, especially Gigan. Now, Gigan, we've seen this is the same version of Gigan that they brought out at least 2 times before. It came out back in the day as a standalone release where you had to pop off the head just to make the light up work. Then they brought it out in a 2-pack set with Megalon at another WonderFest back in the day. Then they brought out a night color version with the light up, you know, in his visor. So this is basically just a retread of that. It's just a reissue. It's not a new sculpt or whatever. And I guess that's okay. Now, for new collectors, now this is good for you, because you finally get to have this set for 2 figures where, you know, I've seen individually Gigan go for $500. So you're getting basically 2 figures for the price of 1. And Gigan is cool. And in my opinion, this version of Gigan is the best one that S Plus has ever done, even better than the 30. I agree. Now, the Godzilla one, that is the one that, in my opinion, I find most egregious, because, again, this is not a 72. This is a 71. And they, as a matter of fact, blow me up, Kyle. I got a 71 here, if you can, please. This is what we're getting, and all they did was they put some red paint on his forehead to simulate the wound that Gigan gave him in the film. And I don't know if he has a wound on his arm. Remember, Gigan slashed his arm too, right? That's right. So they basically are just retreading. They're just reissuing the figures. And I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, for newcomers, this is good for you because you finally get to have some good quality figures for not a high price. But for somebody who not only loves this film, wants to see new stuff, to me, this is just lazy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it like that. But to me, this is just lazy. I've been waiting for a 72. I mean, like Samson West, I've been waiting for so long for them to do a 72 version of Godzilla, or at least a more updated version of Gigan. As a matter of fact, I got Gigan here. And when you put the figures together, actually Godzilla is taller. And that's not how it is in the film. No. I mean, this is how it should be. This is how it should be, you know, as far as like the figures. But the figures stand out like this, where Godzilla is taller. And that's not how it should be. And again, I find it to be very, 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 very lazy. And it makes no sense that we're getting a 25. And I said this in our prep before we started this show. It makes no sense that we're getting a 25 centimeter 2019 Godzilla, and now we're getting a 2021 25 centimeter Godzilla. And they're both the same. I mean, I'm sure there are probably some nuances here and there, but they virtually are the same figure. So if we can get different versions of Godzilla in those years, 2019, 21, you mean to tell me you can't do a 72 version of Godzilla? And there's enough of a difference between this one, 71, and 68, where they could have done a brand new sculpt, but they just didn't do it. But again, if X Plus continues to do this and phone it in and not give us the products that we give you our hard-earned money to, then again, that may drive folks to go elsewhere. And there's a lot of companies out there that's vying for our money. Omega Beast, Spiral Studios, Mondo, Mezco, and if X Plus don't step it up, then that may drive folks to go elsewhere. But again, if you're a newcomer, this set is for you. But hopefully, we'll get something new and brand new when it comes to this movie, because I want to see something from this movie. And finally, this was the one that got me most excited involving this show.
No doubt.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. The favorite sculptors line of Godzilla versus errr, where we see Godzilla flipping errr in midair. Oh, fun fact. This is from Kaiju Freaks. Oh, I think a size okay. And this is, I think, third time where X Plus has gone to one of those kits for their favorite sculptors line. The previous two were the favorite sculptors line Rodan 56 that came out last year, and the favorite sculptors line Varan. And this thing looks great. Now, I think the original was resin. Am I right, David? Was it resin?
Absolutely correct. Yes.
Okay, so but because it is resin, you know, it would have no problem, I guess, supporting its weight up there a little bit, or if you're able to reinforce it with a steel rod. But these figures are going to be vinyl. And as you can see here, if you look closely, there's going to be a cradle that's going to suspend errr in midair. I know some folks are not really
suspicious about that.
I know, but at the same time, let me put your mind at ease a little bit. Again, this is the same type of cradle that came with the flying version of King Ghidorah, right? And honestly, I've had that figure for 3 years, and it's not come down not one time. As long as you're not, you know, putting it through earthquake tests every week, it shouldn't fall down, you know. But I am so happy that we're finally getting this, and I hope that leads to other monster versus monster combo type of figures that we get from X Plus. And again, I love this because, truth be told, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster is in my top 10 of favorite Godzilla films. I'm not afraid to admit that.
I watched it. Yeah,
it is number 6 in my top 10. You know, and to finally see something like this, you know, this is great, and it's going to be 30 centimeters. Well, I take that back. The figures, the individual figures are 30 centimeters, but when it's all said and done, it's going to be like the height of a gigantic. So I think the price on the card was like 48,000 yen, which like roughly translates like 450, something like that, you know, which is really ain't bad, you know, because you are getting 2 30 centimeter figures, right? But once you put them all together and have this great setup, I think this will be one of the standout entries from X Plus this year, and it kind of makes up for the fact that they didn't do right by the Gigan set that I previously talked about. But I'm definitely looking forward to this set. So between this, the King Ghidorah 2019, or like I said, if you're a newcomer, the Gigan Godzilla 72 set or whatever, they have some good stuff to show as far as X Plus and WonderFest. And my good friend John Ruff is going to cover some more X Plus stuff later on in his segment. But that's it with me. So I'm gonna kick it over to my main man, David Epdopko. What's up, my man?
What's up, Leslie? What's up, everybody? Thanks for sticking around with us. And I just want to say a couple things about that X Plus 66 versus the Sea Monster. now that I think about it, the original may not have been resin because resin would have been even heavier than vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to check that out with like Steve to confirm that, but I'm not quite sure if it actually was resin. I know Paradise did one that was vinyl too, a sea monster flipping lobster thing. I think it's great, and I love to see these model kit designs being translated into vinyl, X Plus vinyl. But I am, several of us modelers were talking about it. Steve, Robert Trock, and a couple other people. We're really skeptical about that stand because it just doesn't look. I mean, it's going to have to be just so, and it's going to be really hard to photograph too. I'm already thinking ahead to that.
Yeah, right.
But I'm curious, and I'm definitely willing to take the chance because it's such a cool, unique piece. And as Leslie mentioned, very few X Plus figures came as sets, right? There's only a few like that actually connect to each other.
Engaged, yeah.
And I was lucky enough to get one of those from Mr. G Okamoto himself when we went to HQ X Plus HQ. I got the Gamera and Viras set.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And there's one or two others, I can't think of them right now, but it's unique as far as being a figure that like sort of connects to another figure. It's really cool. So hopefully we can all figure it out collectively and get it to stand perfectly for everyone. So only time will tell. So
Leslie will tell us.
What's that? Leslie will definitely tell us. Forget about time. Leslie will tell us.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you in a very colorful way. Trust me on that.
As far as the Godzilla goes, the 72, I've already had requests from people for me to mod that figure to make it look more like it's battle damage, like the suit's falling apart. So I'm actually looking forward to that. That sounds like it's going to be a fun thing to do, like make it like kind of tear it up a little bit, without going too far, because that little blood stream is not enough. It needs more than that. I definitely agree with everything you said. And
lazy.
No,
completely lazy.
I don't know if it's lazy because we can't say that just because I'm not unconvinced that we're eventually going to see another one come out at some point in the future. So I don't know, but because you never.
Let's move on to your news items though, because we got to kind of pick it up.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. So I'm going to go fast then because I took a little time up. So you can start with the first slide, Kyle. It's the M1 Shodai 1954 Godzilla.
Fabulous.
Now, this is the third time that this figure third color spray that this color was released in. I have the very first one, which is the blue, sort of metallic blue spray. And this is in the line of Yuji's like new Godzilla sculpts. He did this one and F25. And I know a lot of us, the collectors, would love to see him do the entire line of Godzillas in this particular style. It's really awesome. That color that is from WonderFest is a really cool color. It's got more realistic claws and whatever. And the thing that makes it special is the actual plane that he's holding in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love that plane. I love like Lou. I love little accessories that come with figures. Now, this plane, I did a little research. It's actually a plane design that was in 10 other Toho movies, and the type of plane it's an F-86F Saber. And so it's really, really cool, and I love those little details. And I'm going to try to get one of these at some point because that's one of the things I was most excited about, and that's why I chose it. Next up, Kyle, moving right along. What Kyle talked about, the origins of WonderFest. Well, here's a perfect example. This is a beautifully sculpted garage kit by Ultra Ya, sculpted by Hashimoto-san, who did, you may have seen my Godzilla maquette resin figure that Robert Trock got for me when he was physically at WonderFest a few years ago. So I love this kit. It's amazing. There's no way I can have it. It's way too big because it comes with everything you see there.
Wow.
Beautiful flying Rodan. The wingspan, the wingspan is about 10 inches long, so it's really long. It comes with a little mini cityscape of Fukuoka City. See, I said it almost right. And it's got the little Acai beer factory warehouse in the background, and again, these things are expensive and they're really hard to find, and you really physically have to be there or have someone get this for you from a friend in Japan, because they're just so limited and hard to find. And like the one-day release thing is definitely real. I'm sorry. It retailed for 40,000 yen, and that's approximately 350 US. And it's definitely something that I would love to have if I had more space and more money. So we can just kind of move right along to my last items. And of course, there you see X Plus's entire setup, which is really, really cool. It's an aerial view. I don't know if someone's on an upper level, but that's a beautiful, huge setup. And there's our good friend of the show, G Akamoto, who is one of the head honchos of X Plus. And he said it was cool that I shared this picture that he sent me. So he's very proud of the things that his company has created, as you can see. And I'm here to talk about the new Harryhausen items that have been announced. There's several Harryhausen's figures on that table, but there's two new specific ones. One of them is actually the Skeleton Warriors. I think Kyle's got a slide for that, or an image for that. This is, of course, from Jason and the Argonauts.
Yes.
And an AKA the Children of the Dragon's Teeth. So remember when the Hydra goes up into flames,
right?
The main guy of Kulkus takes the dragon's teeth, puts them in his hat, and spreads them around the ground, and up spring these skeleton warriors. We thought it was cool to see one skeleton warrior in Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Now we have a whole troop of skeleton warriors that fight Jason and the Argonauts, which is super cool. I'm really looking forward to that. This one is it's a 1/6 scale, about 32 centimeters, and of course it has one standing and a couple of them like sort of rising out of the earth, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Next up, you've been seeing it flash by. It's this from the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. It's an Aurora style Cyclops, and this is, as I mentioned, a styrene kit, and this is in the 1/8 scale, about 22 centimeters. And it's got beautiful Aurora style box art. I know G-san is from my generation and John's. We love the old Aurora box art. Yeah. That's like the charm of a lot of these things. So he made a point to make it look like those 70s like square boxes. And again, it's a styrene kit. I haven't built a styrene kit in years, so I'm really looking forward to this. And not only does it come with a Cyclops, it comes with a little cage, the little wooden cage that has, I'm not sure if it's Sinbad himself or a sailor in there that he's about to roast in the very next scene. Cool. It comes with a base and a nameplate as well. And then there's a couple other things that have been flashing by. This is a 50 centimeter Talos. It's spectacular. I would love to have it, but I don't have the room or the money. This is actually not a WonderFest exclusive. This is actually available now. You can purchase this from Sideshow or Star Ace right now. Cool. Very, very cool. They just wanted to showcase it at WonderFest because it looks great with all the other stuff. They did there was a crack in there in the background, and they also did a different version of Guanji. This is like the deluxe version of Guanji. Comes with a little base, and he's got a torn off pteranodon wing in his mouth. And this as well is available from Star Ace or Sideshow right now. If you want to order that, you can order that right now. So I have a couple Harryhausen things, and I know the Collect All Monsters will be doing a Harryhausen special show at some point in the near future. So I look forward to being on that panel. And yeah, that's about all I've got. John, what did you pick for
David? Before you move on,
yes,
Michael Hamilton is asking a question in the chat.
Yes,
question. What is the difference between a vinyl kit and a styrene kit? And I know you can answer that.
Yes. Okay. So a styrene kit is a completely different material. So if any of you remember the styrene kits, they used to do cars, figures, animals, dinosaurs. The prehistoric scenes were all styrene. It's a totally different material. It's like a thin, hard material, and it's on sprues.
It's like your classic when you think of plastic pieces from your childhood,
from
like
back in the day.
That's like classic styrene kits are those like model kit airplanes and stuff like that.
That's right. And I haven't built one in years, so I'm not sure if the skills that I have now for vinyl and resin translate back to when I was a kid, and I didn't really, take too much stock in getting glue stains all over the place. But it's a different type of, you need a different type of glue. Vinyl is a softer material. You can't cut styrene, you have to kind of break it off. Whereas vinyl, you can heat it up and sort of cut it out of the excess. It's called flash, the excess on there. You know, we are going to do another model kit show, and we will actually dive into the difference between styrene, vinyl, and resin in a more in-depth manner at that point. But good question. They're very different. So yeah, hopefully that answers it for you. And I think with that, let's go to John, see what you chose for your choices.
All right. I hear an airplane. Well,
On airplane?
X Plus really had a wonderful table, and what I loved in addition to the errr, you know, the combo set are the defo reels. They really knocked it out the park.
Oh, yeah.
What a surprising reveal for me of the Megalo, you know, set. We knew the Jet Jaguar was coming, but to see the 73, the Megalon, and the Geigen, oh wow, they're fantastic. I don't think there was a release date yet for them, but they're just simply fantastic. And have Megalo Goji with the light pole, whatever it is, the electric pole out of his mouth, toothpick, and he's got the tree too. Oh man, it's fantastic. I'd love to see that in a gigantic or just a new 25-inch, 25 centimeter. The Megalon,
Cute.
awesome. I could just see light up eyes, or even take some way to light up the top of his horn.
He looked like he's laughing.
Yeah. Okay. And, oh man, I wonder if it will come with a little what's a napalm?
The grenade, the napalm grenade. Yeah.
And the Geigen's great. What can we say? Are we going to get a gigantic Geigen this year?
We're supposed to get a gigantic Geigen, for me as the one with the case of the Spostas. But yeah, they said gigantic Geigen ages ago. I still want to hold them to that.
Yeah.
Hey Kyle, you know what? Surprise! I know you're on the hiatus, but when that Death Row Geigen comes up for pre-order, I'm gonna get you one as a gift.
Oh, buddy, you don't have to do that.
Awesome.
But thank you.
I know, but I want to. I know Geigen. I know it's up there with you. It's a daggone shame. This is the 72 Geigen. It's not really the 73. Are they allergic to the 73 Geigen for some reason?
The 73 Geigen is a little different. We'll leave that there.
A lot different.
It's just a little different.
Is this the first
Kyle.
Geigen they've done? Death-Reel?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm getting you one, Kyle.
And just in the interest of time, then there was you see another angle. The Jet Jaguar is great, and they have the Rick light up version, I guess, coming too. And in just in the interest of time, there was also this awesome, fierce Mechagodzilla release by KAIJU and One Up.
No.
This is a 17 centimeter Mechagodzilla 2, and it goes for like about $77. $75. Really cool. Head comes off to reveal the laser underneath. Really cool. Can never have too many Mechagodzillas. Yeah. And that's now there were many things at WonderFest to just salivate over. So
I was really excited to see One Up do this Mechagodzilla. That's great.
Yeah. They had some great shots of it in production on Twitter. This is really cool. So I'll turn it over to you, Kyle. What you got for us?
All right. Thank you, John. I think what I'll do is just quickly blaze through my section here. Sorry for the barking dog in the background if you hear that. So essentially, man, I love WonderFestival. It's like a celebration for me. Whenever it happens, I'm like, ooh, WonderFestival's opening. I'm not going to be around. And I like sit there and I search for the general hashtag for the show, which for this one, it was WF2022W, standing for WonderFestival 2022 Winter Edition. And all of the cool stuff that they have at that show, I just chose one table to show off because that one table has so much cool stuff. This is, I'm going to say it wrong, and I think I maybe even got the Romanji wrong down there. So if you know what it is, please comment in this video or let me know what it is. But it means Black Dragon Studio, Kuroryu Studio, Gamera's, the 1999 Gamera. They did this killer bust. I believe it is a 1-to-1 scale. That's a 45 centimeter height, a 43 centimeter depth, and a 32 centimeter width. But you know, it's all of that beautiful detail.
Look at that.
It's going to cost you. How much do you think this costs, David?
Oh God, is it built? Is it complete, or you have to build it and paint it?
Ooh, I actually don't even know. I'm guessing you have to build it, but I'm not positive about that.
I couldn't even venture a guess.
Maybe not for the price tag.
600.
$3,000.
Oh snap! It better be built.
300,000 yen for
that.
This.
Better be built.
I think that's
Yeah, it should be built.
That needs to be built for that
to be.
price. I'm
Right.
not building nothing for that price.
Right.
Well, it's gorgeous.
It is. It looks like a prop.
So
It looks like a movie
beautiful.
prop.
And I'm not gonna get any of these, especially since I'm on a hiatus.
Wow.
But that's not all they had. They also had this amazing Godzilla Ultima from Singular Point.
That's awesome.
I don't have the price tag on this one, but generally from the other stuff they had at their table, I guess you could definitely expect to spend more than $400 on this kit. It is apparently a 32 centimeter height kit, but it just looks massive.
Oh, I smell a tail stand.
Yeah.
There's no way that balances like that. It's
Yeah.
a tail stand.
Well, the earlier photo shows
Whoa.
it balancing on a jar.
Yeah.
In addition to having the Gamera bust and Godzilla Ultima, they also have this killer Destroya set. It's not one set. It is a Destroya Crab, which was available for $500.
Wow.
A Final Form Destroya, which is available for $2,000.
I'm good.
And these things are big too, like really nice looking. And then last but not least, the Flying Form Destroya for $400.
I dig that. I
Unbuilt.
like that.
That's an
They're
unbuilt
all
kit, or
gorgeous.
That's
Yeah,
a
they
built
are.
kit.
You
Unbuilt
know,
or
and
built.
yeah, I think they're unbuilt. I think these are the kit prices.
Wow.
I
just
not
don't
ship
know.
that. I would definitely not ship that thing. There's no way.
I'm almost positive those are all resin too. Anyway, so those are what I chose for WonderFestival. We're gonna go ahead and move along because we're already at pretty much an hour and a half.
I took too much time. I'm sorry.
They didn't take too much time. We all took too much time. No, we're all having fun chatting, but we do have a heart out for this particular episode, so we're gonna respect that. What I will say is what we always say: if you are interested in Kaiju collectible news, make sure you head over to kaijubattle.net. That is Mike Farah's website, where he catalogs all sorts of awesome stuff. I'm not positive if he covered everything that we covered on this episode, because a lot of what we got was from directly from the internet, like right after the show and stuff like that. So, but we'll have links in the show notes to some of the stuff that we were talking about. And until then, I think we're going to go ahead and kick off that intermission, give you guys a couple of minute break, and when we come back, we're talking about those monster heartbreakers, baby.
My heart's already broken.
ブルマークの怪獣パチンコサッカー、遊び方は簡単、点数だってちゃんと出るよ。ブルマークの怪獣パチンコサッカー。
Godzilla versus his enemies of destruction, the king of all monsters against the baddest beasts of all time, Rodan, Mothra, Ghidra, Mecha Ghidra, and Mecha Godzilla. It's an eye-flashing, tail-whipping, building-bashing Godzilla war, and only the strong survive. Godzilla rules.
Ultra Kaiju 出現。発進ウルトラホーク1号ジェットビートル。今君の手に。
近頃主人の帰りがなんだか早いんです。
あ、小島さん、
番組録画して自分だけのカラオケテープ作ったりして。
日本全国つつららら、今度は歌える G ビデオラララ。
新登場。
すごい簡単、気持ちいい。
ピチャチ。
Oh, welcome back to another fantabulous episode of Collect All Monsters. We're here in the second half of the episode. We still got 47 people who have tuned into our shenanigans all about Kaiju collectibles. And let me just rearrange the peeps here so we get them back to where they were before. Yes. I don't know if that even matters. So for this next segment, because what we're going to be doing is talking about monster heartbreakers. David Dopko, I'm actually going to give you the floor if you were down for it, because you were the one that came up with this wonderful idea.
So there's a lot of things in this fandom that breaks our heart. And we thought for Valentine's Day to kind of keep it with the theme. We're talking about things maybe we lost, things maybe we broke, things that didn't happen, things that you weren't really quite satisfied with in the collecting world. And we thought we'd just, tell you guys about some of the things that broke our hearts. And do you want me to start or
you should start, David?
Okay.
Go for it, man.
Well, I'll start, and I'm gonna talk fast. I'm gonna talk fast. So like I said, a lot of things break our hearts, and my heart's already broken for some of the things I saw at WonderFest that I know that I will not be adding to my collection for one reason or another. But my heartbreaking stuff, I'm gonna go through my list. Okay. The Pilot Ace King Ghidorah. I had two of them. It's so difficult to find one without a wing that's wonky or damaged. Totally stressed me out. My eye went to that wonky wing all the time. I sold both of them, and that broke my heart because I really wanted to keep them, but it bummed me out that one of the wings was a little off. And I tried everything I could to fix it. I just couldn't do it. So that broke my heart. Something else that broke my heart was during our 2015 Japan trip. I had been looking for a long time for the Yuji Sakai Kiryu Goji, the 2003 resin model kit. And it showed up right when we were in Japan in the middle of the night. I got an email from somebody who knew I wanted it, James Hartman for that matter. And he said, you might want to email Robert Trock. He's got one up there. And I waited till it was like a good time, the morning, and I emailed him. He goes, "Oh, the sale is pending." And I'm like, "Oh no!" And sure enough, it sold, and I didn't get it. And I still looked and looked and looked and looked. I really wanted that because the detail is so amazing on that particular kit. But lucky for me, X Plus helped me out by releasing that kit in vinyl form, and it's awesome. Don't get me wrong; it's totally awesome. But it's a little bit smaller and the detail is a little bit less than that model kit, because that model kit to me is one of the best resin kits that I have ever seen in my life. I actually did get to see it in person. Our friend John DeSantis, when I was back east a couple of years ago, I went to his house and I saw, he's the one that got the kit, by the way. I got to see the kit. He did a fine job building and painting it, and I'm really happy he has it and with somebody I know. But it really did break my heart because I got the news in the middle of the night when we were in Osaka in 2015. So that broke my heart. But I feel a little better because X Plus did it for me. What else do I have? Okay, now these two stories kind of go together. Again, in Japan, 2019, I went with Kyle and Keith, and we had a lot of things going on. And one of the things we were trying to plan to do in the winter, because we wanted to see the Hokkaido Snow Festival, which happens in February, which also is when Winter Wonderfest happens. So Kyle and I were trying to coordinate it so we can be in Japan during Wonderfest, Winter Wonderfest. And both of us did the same thing. We looked at the dates from the year before assuming that they would be the same.
No.
And we booked our trip, and we booked our Shinkansen to Hokkaido, and we had accommodations, etc., etc. It turns out that we looked at last year's dates, and the dates that happened in 2019 were when we were in Hokkaido. Our first night in Hokkaido, as a matter of fact, in Sapporo. So that broke my heart. It didn't ruin the trip by any stretch of the imagination, because I've always said icing on the cake for me is the toys. But I really, really like Lou. I really wanted to go to WonderFest, and we were so close, so close, and it just didn't happen. And coinciding with that, one of the things that we wanted to get for WonderFest, an incentive, was this is the year that this unpopular figure was released with their, as we mentioned, a 1-day license. And these figures that are not shown on screen are really difficult to get a license for in the first place. So I hate to break anybody's heart, but it's unlikely that we'll see a reissue of this. But I could be wrong. I hope I am. I'd like another one. But anyway, broke my heart. I finally got one in the long run about a year later. Kyle, actually, he can tell you the story later because of time. He actually did get one the night of WonderFest from Jamie Davis, who lives in Japan, and that's a whole other story. But he did get one, and anyway, have that one. And finally, last but not least, on that same trip, one of the things that we were going to do, it was going to be a highlight of my trip, was Keith, Kyle, and I were invited to M1 HQ
awesome.
in Fukushima.
Awesome.
And sadly, 3 people got sick. One of them was Keith, and the other 2 were Yuji and Michi. They all had a terrible, terrible flu, and they felt so bad they had to cancel our visit. And Kyle can tell you, we were in Nakano Broadway, walking out after we heard Racine, and he got the text or the email or whatever it was. And I'm really proud of myself because I was only upset for about 20 minutes, and then I got over myself. I'm like, it's not going to ruin my trip. And this is how classy Yuji and Michi are. We actually had little gifts to bring them to when we visited the HQ, and we wanted to have them still have those gifts. So they actually arranged for one of their assistants to meet us at the train station, and we gave them our gifts, and they actually gave us gifts too. We had like little lucky bags. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I think one of the things in there was a little Titanosaurus that Keith kind of usurped upstairs, and this really cool little guy again. I mean, sorry, Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
And they're just a class act. But that really, really did absolutely break my heart because how many people get that opportunity in the first place?
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah.
And Keith couldn't go anyway. He didn't even go to Fukushima, but we did go to the Tsuburaya Museum. That was a wonderful day. We went with Butch too. We had an amazing day, and I was over it. So that broke my heart. There's many other things like not winning any lotteries that breaks my heart every single time. But that's another story. Let's pass it on to. Let's go with Lou. Let's start with you. What broke your heart or breaks your heart?
I remember that trip. I was following your social media, Kyle, and I was like so excited because I also thought you guys were going to WonderFest, and
I know.
Like, what are you doing?
We're so close.
Going to like the WinterFest or something? Wasn't that like a really cool, or like in Sapporo or something? Or was that
the snow festival?
The Sapporo Snow Festival, which
Yuki Matsuri.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And actually, Jamie and his wife Kumi and the kids took a plane. They met us up there, so we spent some time with them up there too. It was outstanding. Don't get me wrong. I am so grateful for that experience. But it would have been nice to tack WonderFest onto that trip too. But it is what it is. It's life. Life happens. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have a few little sad stories, but most of mine are from conventions. I just told this story on another show a few months ago, and it's just, to me, it stuck with me for a number of reasons. Diane at Clawmark at G-Fest, I think it was 2018, had one of those one of the best glitter figures I think out there. It's It's the Hedora. It's a giant Hedora from Marmot with pink
I
eyes.
remember this well.
Andy Peters has one. It is so pretty. So I saw it and I go talk to, I was working with Linda at Chibi Goji Toys, and I'm like, this thing's amazing. She's like, oh yeah, it's great. So she gives me a price, and Linda says, well, I think let's go talk to her. And I was like, okay. So we go back to her, and John, I can't remember his
John
last.
Bumpus.
Yeah, such a nice guy. He was helping.
Yes, he is.
He said,
One of my best
he was
friends.
like, okay, let me get this wrapped up for you. And Diane comes over and says, I'm not selling this.
Oh,
Oh no, that's right.
Took it away. And I mean, I didn't say anything, because to me it was just more comical to watch, because I'm a collector, so I understand it. I like it so much. So it was just very funny. And for Diane to pack that, bring it, put it on display, know it's on display, somebody wants it, and then be like, what have I done? Wait, I'm not selling that. Get out of here, kid. Like,
No.
yeah, but to me, it's like kind of funny in a way. So it's not too sad. I was not whatsoever mad about it or anything. 'Cause it is fun to watch the weird things that go through your mind when you're trying to sell something, or you know how collectors are. So the other thing was just the idea of like walking around aimlessly at a convention and you see something, and for some weird reason you love it, but you don't really love it until you're like a mile away from it.
yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You gotta make that
Yes.
hard turnaround, and by the
Yes.
time you've trucked it all the way back,
It's gone.
Oh,
and you're like, first of all, you just want to be like, well, who bought it? Can we be friends? Like, no, like,
Oh, I'm never like that. I hate them.
so yeah, that was there's a really, really great poster collector that shows up at G Fest, and he's got an amazing. I don't know his name, but there's
I know who
tons
he
of
is,
them
yeah.
you go through. He had one of the original, really old Hedora Guts posters, and I love that image so much. The diagram of the Hedora Guts. So yeah, that was gone. Lucky for me though, the Godzilla store I've just had these framed, put them out.
awesome.
Ooh.
Very
Oh nice.
cool.
Oh wow.
Nice. Yeah, yes.
This was a 3-part set. It was the SY3 ship poster, the Hedora Guts, and a beautiful Mechagodzilla with a rainbow.
I have that SY3 poster literally like right here,
Yeah,
on
it's
the, like on my flat file here.
Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, so that one was fine too. I got that. Thank you, Godzilla store. M1 had one of those beautiful giant. I think it's a GMK. The kit, the really big kit. It was a glow in the dark. It was a blank. You just have to put the mouth in.
Yep.
Do you remember those, Dave?
I do. Absolutely.
Yeah. So and then that was literally the second I decided that that was going to be my big purchase for G Fest. It was gone. So, there's a difference between being, I feel like, at a convention and having something, because there's all this, should I do this? Should I do that? There's a difference between that kind of loss and then losing out on an auction. The auctions to me don't last that long. It's like a quick, like, yeah. But then at some point you'll find another one. But I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, or
Absolutely, 100%.
Funny, like,
in person is more dramatic for sure.
It really is, because you're wondering, like, what happened. So
I'm sighing just listening to it because it's happened to me.
It's funny. You can't really get too bent out of shape over stuff at all. That's not good. But you can cry a little if you want. It's fine. It's not for that long. But I do love that Diane story, because one day I will be her. We'll take half my collection somewhere, and when someone's interested, I'll tell them no. They cannot buy
Oh, yes.
I don't know. How about you, Jack? You have any sad stories for us?
I'm up next. Is that what I didn't hear well? Oh, thanks.
I'm throwing you up anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, well, I do. I have 3. I stopped collecting from 2004 until about 2014. And so that was a real big heartbreak. I mean, it's just bigger context. And the worst part about it was from 2008 to 2014, when I started to collect again, I was living in Japan and just ignoring and not paying it, just all that quality time and trips to Tokyo and everywhere, and just not buying anything. And the worst was in 2014, before I came home. I was living in Nagoya, and it was my last day there. I literally walked 18 miles. I had to take things to the post office, and I did every weekend I would do a 8-mile walk to Osu Cannon and go to Mandarake, about 11 different shops. It would just be a wood, and I'd walk back to my apartment. And there was one spot I used to always sit down and get that was a dakara, something to drink just to refresh myself. And I didn't realize it was right down the street from, I think it's the Science Museum. They had the Tokusatsu DNA exhibit.
Oh man!
Oh no!
Wow.
And I think that day Higuchi-san was there.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
It was literally right down the street. And I'm sitting here like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I miss that? So that was a killer. And then in terms of missing out on something that to this day, please X Plus release this again. The GMK set, the Mothra and Baragon.
Yes.
I just really thought they were going to release that again, or I was going to be able to get it, in the aftermarket somewhere.
A lot of people slept on that set. Yeah,
I did too. Mm-hmm.
Dang.
I know.
That's like, I'm dying for that set. I don't want to spend $1,000, but I hope it comes out again. And so they're like the three things. I had some recent disappointments, but they're not big. They're not significant.
I pass it over to Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie, your time. What broke your heart?
That's the thing. Rarely anything breaks my heart or gets under my skin. I mean, aside from psychotic fans, but other than that, I would say the one thing, because when David brought this thing up, I was like, I had a hard time really coming up with something, quite frankly. And at first I was going to pass, but then I went to my room, and the first thing I saw was like, yep. And ironically, and I hate to say it, but I have to be truthful here. The gigantic 1964 Godzilla from X Plus.
Mm-hmm.
When this thing was announced, or when they showed the prototype of it at I think the Summer WonderFestival, I think back in 2017, you know me, I was going gaga for it. Super hardcore. Most of Goji fans like myself, David, Richard Iso, AJ Russo, we were going gaga for this thing. And then when it finally got released, it received a lukewarm reception at best. And when I saw David, because he bought his, he bought one too, but then eventually he sold it. When I saw that, and I was like, and then I saw Richard Iso's review of this guy, and he wasn't really overzealous with this guy either. I'm like, am I the only one on the island right now? But I have to be truthful here. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad figure, but it could have been better, or at least it should have been better.
Oh, hell yeah.
And when it comes to
so much better.
Yeah, it was just a misfire. The closed mouth option, even some of the more open mouth ones. I've seen some ones that the mouth was so wide you would think it was Godzilla Ultima from Singular Point. His mouth was just like this, and to this day, and I know a lot of people want to see this guy, or at least they want to buy this guy. Newbies. But for us old heads, when it comes to gigantics, he's one of the ones that's not talked about as one of the best ones. When you hear, for me, the top 3 gigantics that they have ever done is the 89, Mecha Godzilla, and I'll probably say maybe the Burning Godzilla.
Shin
Godzilla. Or Shin, and that's my point. You have those that get talked about, but honestly, I can't say the 64 is in that conversation, and that is really heartbreaking to me as a huge 64 fan. That this could have been better, but it isn't. So yeah, I hate to say it, but I have to be truthful here. But hopefully this will open the door because we got the Favorite Sculptors line 54 from the Gigantic series,
right?
And that was the second time we got a 54. So hopefully they'll go back to the 64 and make a better one to make up for this one not being so good or being a misfire.
Yeah.
But that's my heartbreaker. But I still enjoy him nonetheless. But I can understand that it should have been better.
The closed mouth is amazing. I love the closed mouth.
What should have been? What should have been?
Yep.
It should have been.
Such a shame.
Oh well. Where's my plate of cookies so I can barf myself right now? All right, Kyle, you up next.
Someone get Leslie a plate of cookies.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, I don't have too many things to add. Actually, David brought up the two things that happened during our trip to Japan in 2019, which is just really wonderful. And actually, what I have to take a whole giant chunk of that responsibility because I was the one that was booking everything, and I didn't just look at the previous year of WonderFestival. I have to say, I don't do that. I look at the past 5 or 6 years of WonderFestival, and I go, okay, so they had it here, and then the next year they had it here, and the next year they had it here, and then so I just basically did that and I was like, well, it's got to be here. And if it's going to be here, then we're clear to go to the Sapporo Snow Festival, which we did. And again, it was wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful.
To echo what David said as well, going to Japan for toys is fun, but really those cultural experiences they take the cake. And I had just a stunningly amazing time in Sapporo, and that whole trip going all up and down Japan, it was just super fun. So definitely would not trade that for the world, even though it was a little bit of a heartbreak moment. And the not going to M1 as well, of course, way bigger heartbreak for David than for me. I think if I had to say my heartbreak moments as a collector, they would be when something got away. So your typical stuff, losing an auction, sure, it's annoying. But the one that I hate sort of the most, and it doesn't happen very often, but the one I hate the most is making a purchase from a website like Mandarake and thinking, yes, that was awesome. Oh, good. I can't wait to have that in hand. And then the next day you wake up to an email that says, oh, we apologize, but this particular item was out of stock. Or if you do what Lou was suggesting, where you add like 3 or 4 items to your shopping experience, so from the same store to spread out the shipping on it. And then it's like sometimes you don't even get the apology. You just get the email the next day that says quantity 1, quantity 0. And it's like you just have to notice, hey, wait, my total's different. It's less.
I always wondered, like, did they, I mean, obviously the stores are open and stuff, but I've been lucky enough to never have that experience.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it really has only happened like a few times. Luckily, a couple of the things were like super cheap, so it was like, oh well, no biggie on that one. But yeah, if you, there's also a box on the checkout that says if one thing is out of stock, you cancel the entire order because otherwise they won't. They'll just charge you for that less in your order. So I would say if that's something that you ever are concerned about, make sure to check the box, or make sure not to check the box, depending on how you want to work it. But there you go. I don't think I need to have any more Monster Heartbreakers to add. Plus, we got to move along because we still got the Monster Heartbreakers Monster Showcase coming up.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, let's all go hug what you got. Get over it.
That's right.
Hug what you got and get over it.
Yeah, I am.
Yep.
All right. Well, as we normally do here on Collect All Monsters, we have a challenge that we issue to our viewers where we ask them to send in photos every month. We want to see their collection in some way or another. And this time, David suggested Monster Heartbreakers, so we used that as the hashtag. And we sort of left it up to you guys, right? Like, you guys can tell us what you think Monster Heartbreaker means, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think without any we don't have any fanfare for this except just to play
Really? Let's
the
see.
Monster Heartbreakers.
Nice there.
Yes.
Oh,
Now those
love you,
Marathon, I need one of those Marathon.
that's kind of
VR
unique.
days.
Little art there. Love it, Brian. Good job.
Nice work,
I
Robert.
hate those tweets art. Oh, that
This is one of my favorites.
So funny.
Utilizing the skeleton. That's good.
I almost peed my pants. There's a little hot.
I don't know the anime character, but
I
it
don't
looks like it's
either.
from Evangelion.
Aww. That's like a straight up Valentine card.
I love this one. The Can You Afford Me?
Oh,
Linda's
funny.
face in that photo is
you are my
priceless.
type. Yep. Valentine's Day photos. Oh, that's cute.
Very nice.
Aww. Instead of an oxygen destroyer, he's pretty wild.
Is he covering up the oxygen destroyer from Godzilla so he can't see it?
I love it. Ed always comes up with the great stuff. Oh, Dell. man.
Classic Dell here.
Amazing.
Gorgeous colors in that picture too.
Shame on you, Mothra. There's a literal broken heart right there. Oh, wow. That's
Show
funny in
off.
that picture.
That was some show off activity.
Yep.
I approve. I
Exactly.
approve heartily. Very nice. Yes, excellent work, everyone. Thank you for doing that, and also don't forget that next month we are looking for Gigan photos. So I'm not gonna give you guys any sort of restrictions. We want to see you take killer photos of Gigan. Whatever Gigan collectibles you want to show off, that's what we want to see. So the hashtag is Blades of Gory, and I
literally got a paper cut, and I have
no. There you go.
he's a bad guy. You got to watch out.
but Blades of Gory right here.
You can
Blades
use that.
of Gory.
You can use that.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
So yeah, we want to see that for the next episode. We are really looking forward. I specifically am really looking forward to that episode. We're going to do a lot of Gigan discussion and a lot of chat, I think, and maybe at that point I might be able to have some of my collection out again. That would be really cool to show off some of the Gigan stuff that I actually have. But that is going to do it for this episode. I would like to specifically thank Monster Lou for joining us and being our sub for Christine for this episode. You are always welcome back on Collect All Monsters. We love having you on here.
Thank you.
Come back.
Love being on the show.
And thank you, of course, to the co-hosts for being here and for all of the people who've been watching live. We still are clocking in with 47 people watching live. You guys are all awesome.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We, like I said, there are some cool things happening. Leslie has a live stream next weekend. I'm on Kaiju Kim tomorrow, and then during the week on Wednesday, Lady Kyle and I have a chat. We're going to be streaming at the 4 p.m. time Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we really look forward to having you guys come check that stuff out as well. We'll definitely see you for the next episode, which will be March 12th. Same monster time, same monster channel. And I think that is it means it's time for me to kick it over to our... Oh, actually, we forgot to talk about this. So I'll take over for Christine on this one. We have little blurbs we say at the end of every episode. I forgot to mention it to Lou. But, hey, don't keep us a secret. Tell all your friends, especially if they like Godzilla toys and Godzilla collecting, about Collect All Monsters. It's the way to go. John?
Yeah. And if you're not catching us live, please check us out on social media and let us know what you thought of the show.
And if you want this conversation to continue, please join us in our Facebook group. We actually have a new admin. Congratulations, Ryan Wilhelm. Woohoo! Yeah, woo. And this conversation will continue on Monsters with Attitude, and they're going to continue talking about WonderFest. So check them out. if you get a chance, if you'd like to keep talking. So
yeah, I would actually say if any of the Monsters with Attitude guys are watching right now, you can pop a link into the notes or the chat right now and just send people over there. That'd be fine with me.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Leslie.
And thank you for watching the show today, folks. And remember to subscribe and hit that like button if you had a good time watching the show today. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, until next time, our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. We must unite and collect all monsters. Have a great night, everybody.
I made it.